Happy Gemini new moon. It is air time, Gemini time. I feel like the last airbender, right? We're in a time of mind. Gemini is the twins. It's the trickster. It's the coyote. It's seeing both sides and realizing now that you have awareness, right? We went from like Aries, when spirit comes into form and it's like, oh my God, everything's new. I'm excited. I'm going to rush right in there. I'll think about it later. To Taurus that comes into a body and is like, wow, I have the senses now. I can smell, I can taste, I can touch, I can feel all the things, even like that motorcycle cruising away. And then you spin into Gemini, where now that energy is morphing into the intellect, how we write, how we express, how we think, seeing two sides of the coin. But right now there's a massive party. We have Jupiter there, which expands everything. Jupiter rules the opposite sign from Gemini, which is Sagittarius. It's higher learning, universities, a higher esoteric wisdom, rules natural law. It's there in Gemini near the sun, right? So it's expanding our consciousness. Mercury is next to that. I forget the degrees, but this is all in my 8th house. So Mercury in Gemini is strong. It rules Gemini and Virgo. It wants to express itself. This is a great time on the new moon for setting intentions of something that maybe you've wanted to write a letter to somebody and get something out that you weren't able to verbalize because you were getting tongue-tied. This would be a great time for that. You don't even have to send it. You could write it out, read it, then burn it, right? And give it to the universe and know that things will be taken care of. We, of course, have the sun in Gemini and the moon. They're conjunct because that's what a new moon is. And then we have Venus. How we love all the beautiful things. In Gemini, it's more about the intellect. Venus in Gemini, and I have Venus in Gemini, it's how can you stimulate me mentally, right? That is more of an aphrodisiac, at least to people with Venus in Gemini, than if I had Venus in Taurus and I wanted you to bring me flowers. Don't get me wrong, I'm a woman. I love beautiful flowers, but I would prefer that you could stimulate my mind, because if you can't, we're not gonna really, well, we're just not. So there's all that. It's the beginning of summer. You could feel the energies. When we shift out of the signs, you could feel the energy shift. Like Taurus is so rooted and grounded and sensual and aesthetic beauties and how we value our things, right? So now it's about barbecues and parties and summer's beginning. And, you know, the solstice is when we go into Cancer. We drop into the water sign, into more of the emotions, and then we have the longest day of the year, at least here in the northern hemisphere. That's coming up soon. It's just amazing to me how quickly time is flying. And we have Chiron in Aries, right? Chiron was discovered when it was discovered in Aries, I think in 1977, and it's weird. It's this weirdness. I remember like the Paisley patterns that came out then, and like the AMC Pacer, that freaking weird car. Like there was a lot of weird shit that came out then. So there's a lot of wounding coming up, you know, around the Aries energy. And it always depends on your natal chart. Like everybody has their outer wheel looking a little bit different than the next person. Even if twins come in being birthed from a mother, you have similar energy, but you're still unique. You're still individuated parts of the one whole, right? So it has a different flavor. For me, all these planets are hitting my 8th house. So it's like other people going deep, coming up with new ideas. I just finished filming at the river, my 3rd module, because I moved back to the Mount Shasta area, and it's time to revamp the course that I had for women that I did 6 months ago. Like, I'm not the same person anymore. We're always up leveling. Well, hopefully you're up leveling. I am. So I've got a new energy I wanted to film, and I sat by the river, but then I got like attacked by some kind of gnats. Even went through my dress, little brats. So I decided just to film this at the house and not down by the river. But yeah, this is a great time when we're in Gemini to verbalize, you know, depending on where it lands. If Gemini is your 1st house and you have Gemini rising, it's about your personal self, you know, the spotlight's on you. Maybe you're going to shine. Maybe your letter's going to be published, right, in the newspaper. Well, that could be 10th house too. You might get a job offer. Something's expanding. If all these planets are in your 10th house, it's your career house if you have Gemini on the 10th house. That would be an amazing time to ask for the promotion, to get recognized, to write that new contract, to tap into the intellect of Venus in Gemini. If it's in your 4th house, it's the house of the home, house of the mother, the connection with women in your life. Maybe if your mom, you know, if your mom's still alive, connecting with her deeper, expanding the feeling of the family, right? Jupiter on the 4th house could expand. So maybe somebody's going to come in and share news with Mercury there too that they're pregnant, because the moon and the sun are there. Consciousness, life coming in. The moon rules the mother, the womb. I mean, there are so many aspects of how it's touching into your chart. But I just want to give a shout out. It's a great time to write your intentions. You can write them down and burn them, or whatever your ritual is. But it's a fun time. It's a fun time to gather with people. The weather in the northern hemisphere at least is warming up everywhere. It's about 88 here, and it's a little bit warm. Not sweaty hot like we had in Florida, but it's almost time for me to get that paddleboard that I was gifted for my birthday. Blow her up and take her for a spin, right? I don't think I'll wait till the sun is in Cancer. I'll do it before then. But yeah, today I definitely felt the energy of this new moon in Gemini by going to the river. And third module makes sense. Third house, Gemini rules the third house, right? All these correlations right there. The magic is always there if you have the quietness of soul to recognize what you're being gifted. You are always being gifted something from spirit to help you along your evolutionary path. And believe me, we're all evolving. Even if you feel stuck somewhere for a while, if you look back at your life, you've moved forward from where you were before, and they say with age comes wisdom. Well, I hope so. Otherwise you just keep repeating the same mistakes, and that's no fun. So sun and new moon in Gemini, great time for socializing, for communicating, for lightness, fun, new ideas. A great time, especially Jupiter there, to expand on any ideas that are coming in and to follow them. If it feels aligned, go for it. Like, I don't do anything with my businesses unless I feel like an alignment, and then I'll move forward. If I'm doing just because somebody thinks I should, the energetics for me are not going to work. Like, I have to be in alignment. And things are really starting to flow for me. I have so many opportunities coming to me now. I am so grateful. And yeah, I'm a Gemini. It's my birthday on Memorial Day, so it's still my Gemini season. I hope you all have a beautiful new moon in Gemini.